Shiv Nadar said that research is a creation of knowledge which leads to new and efficient solutions for the society. To create new knowledge, one needs to solve open-ended problems which basically make one think on one's own. Department of Education continues to promote and strengthen the culture of research in basic education and establishes the research management guidelines to provide guidance in managing research initiatives in the national, regional, schools division, and school levels. Support mechanisms for research such as funding, partnerships, and capacity building were fully enjoyed by our research enthusiast teachers in their quest to find answers on the different concerns, issues, gaps, and problems in our department. To our DepEd officials from the regional and division offices, headed by Dr. Salustiano T. Jimenez, Regional Director, and Dr. Rayamar A. Angtud, Schools Division Superintendent, research presenters, school heads, teachers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is DepEd Cebu City Virtual Research Summit of Completed Researches with the theme DepEd Cebu City Division Research Conference 2020, Gearing Towards Innovation. Please stand by and pay attention on your screen as we honor our dear God for a prayer, a song rendition by Ms. Jania Rivales Irana. This will be followed by an audio-visual presentation of the Philippine National Anthem and the Cebu City Division Hymn.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Let us now swell the chorus of the twin sea lions, gushing forth from their hearts full of glee, ardently holding in their hands the book of knowledge, open wide for all humanity. Fervently guided by the beaming torch of wisdom, we boldly raise the heart and shield of truth. We serve with utmost pride and do our task with dignity, as we are bound to guard of unity. We pledge with grace our full allegiance and uphold the vision and mission of the Department of Education. We love and honor you, loyal will be to the mission of the city of Cebu. We pledge with grace our full allegiance and uphold the vision and mission of the Department of Education. We love and honor you, loyal will be to the vision of the city of Cebu.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be in your most comfortable seats in front of your screens as you witness our virtual research summit of completed researches. Feel free to take down notes and significant findings or insights when necessary. To kick off this morning's event, we are pleased to have with us our supportive Assistant Schools Division Superintendent to deliver a welcome message. Let us virtually join our hands together to Dr. Danilo G. Godilusao.
First of all, please allow me to congratulate all the men and women who invested their selfless commitment and dedication for the development of our young learners, honing their potentials for us to be able to achieve the definite vision, which is to produce Filipinos who passionately love their country and can contribute meaningfully to building this nation. The Republic Act 9155, other known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, emphasizes one very important responsibility of making our schools deliver quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education. This could be achieved by conducting relevant researches at the school level. It is with this context that I celebrate with you on your achievements in the field of research. May the lessons we learned from implementing our research findings would trigger more accomplishments along this area, and at the same time challenge those who start to embrace research as a key to community development. Again, congratulations and welcome to the virtual research summit of completed researches.
Thank you so much, Dr. Godilusao. Today is such an occasion to celebrate for the success of our research presenters who bravely finished their respective researches amidst the different circumstances. To kindle our inner passion to conduct researches with the aim of gaining research-based decision-making towards different educational reforms and initiatives, let us hear a message from our school's division superintendent, Dr. Rayamar A. Angtud. Let us give her a virtual round of applause.
Good day to all of us, especially to the researcher, the 6 of you who are at the moment giving your research to the Division of Cebu City. May say congratulations for a job well done. I know it's not easy, especially with the pandemic, but then you handled everything and you made it, you hitch your wagon to a star. So you are successful in everything that you do. So to all of you, again, congratulations. May you be an inspiration to all the teachers so that they themselves will make researcher like you, and it will help the division office to formulate innovations, programs, and projects based on the research data that you have, especially the recommendation that you will be making. So to all of you, to all the 6 of you, let me say congratulations. The Division of Cebu City is really proud of all of you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Angtud, for always gearing us towards the right direction and compelling choices. With every step that we do in our division, it is very rewarding that we always have the warm support of people whom we consider as the pillars of education. Truly, our regional director never fails to lend his expertise in guiding us, his teachers. We shall not let this event go through without hearing a message from him. Ladies and gentlemen, a virtual round of applause to Dr. Salustiano T. Jimenez.
To everyone attending in this Division Research Summit, a pleasant day. Our very able Chief of PPRD, Dr. Benjit Chungson, the PPRD team, my co-pilot and chairman of the Regional Research Committee, Sir Tito Iko, the regional chiefs who are members of the committee, SDS, ASDS, Division Research Team, Support Team, and friends, my salute and congratulations to all of you. Research do have thousands and one meaning. Several known researchers gave their views about research. According to Werner von Braun, basic research is when I am doing what I don't know what I am doing. David Sarnoff said, research, the distance between an idea and its realization. But HTG stated, research is the continuous search for a spring of solutions to the unending issues. HTG, or yours truly, Sal T. Jimenez. Okay, I said so because every time we are done with our research, another search is needed, and so on until the end of time. But the tick in time won't end, it just passes. So unending. That's why when you say research, it's an ending search because you keep on searching and searching and searching for solutions. So once you already had the solution in this, another issue will come up and another search for another solution. Okay? Now, researchers, gone are the days wherein the word research is a nightmare and cause stress and depression. So, in the advent of development, research has been simplified and almost palatable to every table. So in Central Visayas, we are fortunate to have individuals who are passionate in research, who made this activity possible. So aside from the chief who are very good in research, Dr. Leo Asibar also and company and the team with division focal persons, assistants to schools, ignite the interest of the teachers and school heads and others, both teaching and non-teaching personnel, to do accept the challenges in research. So the more that we emphasize that in Region 7, we shall go for innovations, and the characteristics of research shall be an empirical one. That is, a research based on direct experience or observation by the researcher. So now, you are harvesting the fruits of your labor, and I am more than happy and proud as your father in the region to be part of this laudable and memorable celebration, this summit or research summit. So continue with your passion, cause this serves as the conduit to reach the zenith of success in what endeavor you are into. So just believe, be truthful, and grounded on the idea of humility. So keep the spirit burning for the cause of education and the future of the learners. Kay sa 7, una ang bata per me. So God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jimenez. Indeed, teachers, it is a challenge for us. But with the strong leadership of our regional director and our school's division superintendent, plus the constant push of our school heads and fellow teachers, we are positive to create more researches in the next school years. So ladies and gentlemen, I will not hold you for long as I believe that our research presenters are equally excited as our virtual audiences today in presenting the remarkable research outputs, a product of their intellectual and relentless effort and dedication as an educator who aims to find answers to the current concerns, issues, gaps, and problems in the respective stations. Cebu City Don Carlos A. Gothong Memorial National High School, the school where our first presenters are teaching, caters Bajau students. The researchers have noted a significant trend as to the performance indicators of this group of students, which prompted them to conduct an action research. Proponents: Mrs. Florinda P. Hiruzaga, Teacher 3, Mrs. Charlotte H. Amista, Master Teacher 1, and Mrs. Alice S. Ganar, Division Senior High School Assistant Coordinator and the OICPSDS of South District 8. Research title: Influence of Culture to Bajau Students' Attitude Towards Academic Performance.
Good day, everyone. This is our action research, which is entitled Influence of Culture to Bajau Students' Attitude Towards Academic Performance. My co-researchers are Dr. Charlotte H. Amista, MT1 of Cebu City Don Carlos A. Gothong Memorial National High School, and Alice S. Ganar, Division Senior High School Assistant Coordinator and OIC PSDS of South District 8. The rationale: culture comprises the whole complex of distinctive spiritual, material, and emotional features that characterize a society or social groups. This is according to UNESCO 1982. Culture and cultural practices evolved in response to any number of phenomena. The Sama Dilaot, the formal name of the Bajau, are among the most obscure, misunderstood, and marginalized among the Filipino ethno-linguistic groups. In Cebu City, there is an influx of Bajau in the areas of Alaska, Mambaling. Cebu City Don Carlos A. Gothong Memorial National High School is among the schools in the city that caters Bajau students. In Cebu City Don Carlos A. Gothong Memorial National High School, only 20% of the entire Bajau enrollees graduated every year. First problem is the unstable source of income and poverty as causes for the attitude of Bajau towards learning. The other problem is of its illiteracy because of their culture where the older generation of Bajaus are illiterate. These problems are due to their culture where they prioritize their groups and community before education. Based on the fixed-if analysis form, where there are several factors that led to poor academic performance of Bajau students. Research problem. This study aimed to describe the influence of culture to Bajau students' attitude towards academic performance. Specifically, this study sought to answer the following questions. Number 1. What is the profile of the Bajau senior high school students in terms of 1.1. Income and livelihood, 1.2. Family and social affiliation, and 1.3. Religion. Number 2. What are the factors that affect Bajau students' performance in school in relation to their profile? Number 3. What are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats or SWOT profile of the Bajau senior high school students in relation to academic and non-academic performance? And lastly, what intervention program may be proposed based on the findings of the study to help improve Bajau senior high school students' attitude towards academic performance? Significance of the study. The study's outcome are beneficial to the following individuals and organizations. First, for the school heads, that the findings may broaden their assessment on how to handle these Bajau students to improve their academic performance. This is also essential for the teachers, as it serves as their basis in evaluating and utilizing approaches on the education of the Bajau students. It can also help guidance counselors in their implementation or conduct of a program on functional ethnic assessment through corrective measure approach and explain disciplinary actions for the Bajau students for them to excel not only on their academics but also grow holistically. With this, students may also benefit with the study through active engagement in the classroom. Stakeholders can also take this research as basis in helping the school to provide and support the essential needs of the Bajau students. And lastly, the future researchers that the conduct of this study may serve as information for them to conduct a study relevant to the topic and basis in handling ethnic groups like the Bajau students of Gothong National High School. It also contributes to the idea of seeking understanding about the behavior of the students with regards to culture. Methodology. Type of research is qualitative. Research design, multiple case method. Participants, 13 senior high school Bajau students currently enrolled in Cebu City Don Carlos A. Gothong Memorial National High School with a focus group. Research instrument, fixed-if profile analyzer and SWOT analysis. Data analysis, tabulation of fixed-if data with interview guide. Mediums are through graphical and tabular data. Specific objectives and results. These are 4 identified cases based on the responses of senior high school Bajau students in the questionnaires given to them. For the information, 4,000 below income. Case A is extended family and the religion is Islamic religion. Case B has 4,000 below income, extended family, and the religion is Bajau native religion. For case C, 4,000 below income, extended family, and the religion is born again Christian. For case D, 4,000 below income, nuclear family, the religion is Bajau belief. For the strengths in the income, all of the cases has less money to spend and manage. Opportunities, all cases has income to support schooling. For the threats, all cases, money is spent faster due to the income being smaller. All of the cases presented are earning insufficient income for their actual needs. The income they receive doesn't equate and isn't greater than their cost of living. With these problems in hand, Bajau students tend to be absent for them to save money, or they themselves would help their families in search for money. Presented by the problem and consequential situation, their grades are going to drop due to absences and the fact that they could not focus on their education. Given these hardships, in an interview with respondent A states that ang akong mama mamaligya og towel og mga earrings, gagmay rapod kaayo og halin. My mother sells towels and earrings. The earnings are too small. Social affiliations. Their strengths, many sources of financial help to their family. The weaknesses, needed better attention to acquire these governmental aids. For the opportunities, they are given seminars to enhance their skills and talents. Monetary aid and the government also provides scholarships, trainings, and seminars for them to learn life skills and apply these learnings as a way to earn more and succeed in life. The cases have the same application because most of the Bajau families are acquainted with private and governmental programs such as 4Ps, Nano Nagli, and others. The only threat for them is that they might be abused by private and public sectors because their attitude towards education is not that strong, and that they fear that they would just be used by these organizations for their own benefits. In an interview, a respondent quoted, "Kinahanglan mo eskwela kay di man maka-avail sa scholarships kung di officially enrolled. There is a need to go to school because we cannot avail scholarships if not officially enrolled. It can be determined that they need to go to school for their scholarships to take effect." The strengths in religion promote social harmony and give them a sense of belongingness. The weaknesses, religious leaders may take advantage of these Bajau students. Religion is the belief of a supernatural being controlling the everyday lives of living things in our planet. The cases all produce the same suit for religion, which may be different in some aspects, are the same as with its goals. It provides individuals and families with a path to take, and with religion they have the feeling of belongingness. But the same as with the social affiliations, the Bajau are still having the fear of being abused, although those of which believe in the primitive religion tend to feel safe because it is part of their culture that has been going on for a long time than those who belong to other religious organizations. In an interview about the religion, a student quoted, "Kinahanglan mo attend sa magkawin, wedding, kay ang among pag-adto kay mauman ang among best gift nga ikahatag sa bag-o nga kasal. There is a need to attend the magkawin or wedding because our presence there is our best gift to the newlyweds." Discussion. The data collected is substantial to the study, and the presentation of the data is important for the proper delivery of the message of each data presented. The study is concerned with academic performance of senior high school Bajau students and the effects of culture to their intellectual efficiency and the data collected by the usage of interviews and questionnaires are better expressed in a tabular and graphical presentation. After the questionnaires were administered and answered by the Bajau students, the raw data were then evaluated and is tabulated to present the data given properly and clearly. The researcher discovered the different responses of the senior high school Bajau students and their different attitudes and approaches towards their learning. Conclusion: the culture of Bajau senior high school students influenced their attitude towards academic performance only in terms of its social affiliations, most particularly in engagement and attendance to events like weddings, interment, and Thanksgiving. These social events serve as a tight band of Bajau people to stay together, thus given much relevance as compared to attendance and academic performance in school. Recommendations: upon the findings and conclusion of the study, the researcher would like to endorse the following improvements possible to be done by future researchers. First, to include parents, teachers, classmates' view towards academic performance in order to entail possible problems that root from other subject areas that may affect the academic performance of the senior high school Bajau students. Second, to widen the scope of the research by not only focusing on the culture of senior high school Bajau students, but also their hobbies and out-of-school activities, which is not covered by this study, to produce more in-depth results. Third, to propose an action research which tackles on the problems of these Bajau students and take on a progressive study over time. In this manner, the senior high school Bajau students will be encouraged to perform well in their academic and non-academic performance. And lastly, to adapt the study into an ethnographic research study in order to face the problems of the Bajau students and learn of their cultures, traditions, and beliefs more than the current study does. These are the references used in the conduct of the study. These are our senior high school Bajau students with their schoolmates, taken before focus group discussion was conducted. Before I end my presentation, I would like to share this quote by Bill Cosby. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. That would be all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much and congratulations to our first presenters. Our next presenter's main point of their action research is to improve instruction in teaching MAPE, particularly in music. Proponents, Mrs. Maria Victoria C. Sinsontic, Master Teacher 1, and Mrs. Glenda D. Empleo, Teacher 3. Action research title, You Can't Teach What You Don't Know. LAC sessions for Grade 4 MAPE teachers of Labangan Bliss, South District 4. Improvement of teaching music.
Good day, everyone. I'm Glenda Dispo Empleo, the MAPE coordinator of the Labangan Bliss Elementary School, and my co-researcher,
I am Maria Victoria C. Sinsontic, Brigada Escuela coordinator and a master teacher of Labangan Bliss Elementary School.
This action research endeavors to improve the instruction in MAPE, specifically in music, by conducting a school learning action cell to grade 4 non-MAPE teachers of Labangong Bliss Elementary School and propose an action plan which could be adopted in school.
Research questions. This study seeks to answer the following questions. 1. What are the profile of grade 4 MAPE teachers in music? 2. What are the competencies in music that are most difficult to teach? What are the problems encountered by teachers in teaching music? What are the improvements on the performance of the subject after the conduct of the intervention?
Introduction. MAPE, which has 4 components such as music, arts, physical education, and health, is considered fun yet challenging subject for elementary teachers. In the new curriculum of the K-12 in music education, the learners are expected to show understanding of the basic skills and knowledge in music.
Thus, a music teacher is expected to master and teach the basic elements in music. However, it has been noted that MAPE teachers of Labangong Bliss Elementary School have difficulty in teaching music based on a school monitoring report. Reasons such as teachers lack knowledge and skills and needs more training. The researchers opted to use LAC session or Learning Action Cell to be used as an intervention. As stated in DPID Order Number 35, Series 2016, Learning Action Cell is a session conducted by a group of teachers who engage in collaborative learnings to solve shared challenges encountered in school. Lack of trainings and no background in teaching the elements of music are some of the reasons MAPE teachers lack the interest and motivation in teaching the subject. As Jesse Jackson would say, one cannot teach what one doesn't know. Flow of the study. The researchers used these steps. First, survey questionnaires were distributed to the teachers to find out the profile of the grade 4 MAPE teachers and the competencies in music that are difficult to teach. Second, after analyzing the data, school LAC session was then implemented and members of the LAC team was also formed. Third, with the findings of the research and the intervention given, recommendations and action plan in MAPE were made and suggested. Research methodology. This research uses the descriptive qualitative survey method, and the respondents are the grade 4 MAPE teachers. The research locale is in Labangong Bliss Elementary School, and the instrument used is the questionnaire. Discussion of result. On the question of the profile of grade 4 MAPE teachers in music, the result shows that all grade 4 MAPE teachers have no educational background in music and have less training in music. Most of them have 1 to 2 years experience in teaching music in the grade level. On the result of the competencies in music from 1st to 4th quarter that are most difficult to teach.
Table 1 shows the result of the learning competencies in music in the 1st quarter. It is clearly shown that Lesson 4 and Lesson 8, responding to metric pulses of music heard with appropriate conducting gestures, were considered as very much difficult lesson for the teachers. Although the participants have no difficulty in teaching the different kinds of notes and rest, it is in the application and understanding the meaning of rhythmic pattern they lack knowledge. For the 2nd quarter, lessons in recognizing the meaning and use of G-clef and singing with accurate pitch was very much difficult topics. Respondents have knowledge and skills in identifying the pitch name, but knowing the meaning and use of the G-clef were not significant to them. For the 3rd quarter, Table 3 shows that the respondents mostly have knowledge in identifying similar and contrasting phrases in music, while it is in the singing of the phrases where mostly are having difficulties. For the fourth quarter, respondents find the lesson in harmonic interval as very much difficult, while identifying two pitches in the music not difficult. The term ostinato and descant in music were the most requested topic by the respondents.
After analyzing the data and the result of the questionnaire, LAC planning was then implemented, and topics for the session were based on the chosen most difficult competencies in music. LAC team was organized, and resource speakers were then identified and invited. On the question, what are the problems encountered by teachers in teaching music? During the conduct of LAC sessions, teachers shared problems encountered in teaching music, such as skipping hard topics, hesitation in asking help from other teachers, and no confidence in teaching solfege and difficulty in giving the right pitch to notes. On the last question, what are the improvements on the performance of MAPI subject after the conduct of the intervention? Feedbacks on the improvements of the teacher in teaching music based on the observation conducted by the facilitators and the administrator. 1. The approach and the way they explain the concepts for the topic became better since they are more equipped in terms of content. 2. Teachers are more confident in using musical instruments in teaching pitch and notes to students. 3. An MPS increase was evident during the conduct of the fourth quarter test. The following are the recommendations based on the result of the study. Continuous conduct of school LAC session in MAPE for other difficult topics encountered by teachers. Conduct intervention program on low-performing subjects using LAC sessions. With the findings of the study, an action plan was made and recommended activities were included in the action plan in MAPE. These are the references used in the study.
Being a MAPE teacher seems like an easy job, but for a first-timer like me, it is both a challenge and an opportunity. A challenge because of the lack of mastery and insufficient trainings and seminars, and at the same time, it's an opportunity for me to widen my knowledge and enhance my skills to be fully equipped. If I have those, it would be easier for me to connect to my students. Let me end by saying thank you to our administrators, Mr. Ricardo B. Aman and Mrs. Maria Linda A. Adolfo, and to all the grade 4 teachers of Labangong Bliss Elementary School. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you and congratulations, Mrs. Insontic and Mrs. Empleo. Work immersion gives our senior high school students an authentic experience in the world of work. Our next presenters aim to evaluate the performance of the senior high school students in their respective workplaces via the outlook of the industry partners. Proponents, Dr. Charlie L. Salve, School Principal 1 of Lahug Knight High School, and Dr. Joanne M. Tero, Senior High School Teacher 3 of the same school. Research title, Senior High School Work Immersion, Proposed Program Development Plan.
Hi, my name is Joanne Tero. I am from Lahug Knight High School, Senior High School Department. I am grade 11 year leader and advisor. I am an ABM teacher.
And I am Charlie Lasala Salve, Principal of Lahug Knight High School. And the title of our study is Senior High School Work Immersion Proposed Program Development Plan.
Our research problem. It aims to assess the grade 12 work immersion students in perspective of industry partners. Specifically, it answers the following questions. What are the skills acquired from the school? What are the skills required by the industry partners? What are the skills required by the Department of Education? Is there a relationship between the skills required in school and industry partners? What intervention can be developed after the evaluation? The rationale of the study. Philippines was the last ASEAN country who adopted K-12 curriculum, which aimed to address the readiness of the high school students to become employable in the industry and recognize its education globally. Senior high school bridges the gap on the learners and exposed to the practical application of the different field of specialization. Yanito Tagata 2017. This work immersion provides learners with opportunities to learn about workplace as well as the authentic work environment. Work immersion is a key feature in the senior high school program. Guidelines has been formulated based on the experience of technical vocational schools. The program aims to advance the knowledge and skills of students that contextualize their specialization, expected outcomes, and provide students relevant training experience by giving them the experience to real compliance setting. Lahug Night High School had successfully implemented the work immersion program. The senior high school focal person had conducted the work immersion orientations to students with parents and at the same time looking for company stakeholders whose services and skills are relevant to the training of those students. Having first-hand experience while in the workplace can be reflection that what practices needs to improve. Lastly, this research would like to investigate the performance of the MRC in order to bridge the gap between the academic and industry needs, and for the learners to upgrade their learned skills through feedbacking. Research methodology. Types of research are qualitative and quantitative research. The participants are the 155 students of grade 12 Lahug Night High School. There are also 12 industry partners. Questionnaire design. Adapted from the immersion logbook evaluated by work immersion advisors and industry supervisors. These are the key competencies: knowledge of technical field, practical competence, ability to learn, interest in work, communication skills, punctuality, housekeeping and tidiness, safety, attitude and cooperation. Adapted questionnaire on the perceived soft and hard skill of industry partners. Statistical analysis. The data collected based on the submission of logbook to the immersion teachers and the teachers' evaluation of students' performance. Tallied and analyzed using the average ranking and correlation person-hour coefficient. It determines the relationship between the industry partners' perception and the evaluation of teachers to the students.
For the results and discussion, the first table shows skills acquired in school as perceived by the teachers. It can be gleaned in the table that attitude and cooperation rank the first with an average of 4.76. It simply implies that the grade 12 MRC students of Lahug Night High School showed willingness with good attitude and were able to get along with others. However, the communication skills ranked the last with an average of 4.43. It simply implies that the grade 12 MRC students have difficulty in making her or himself adequately understood and could hardly follow spoken and written instructions. The result of the survey is very alarming, knowing that the communication skills is very important in doing business. That is according to DEPA and SET in 2013, and that communicating and interacting with others would mean job opportunities. The next table shows the skills acquired in school as perceived by the industry partners. It can be gleaned in the table that knowledge of technical field ranked the first with an average of 4.34. It simply implies that the grade 12 MRCs displayed knowledge of his or her technical field appropriate to the level of study. However, punctuality ranked the last with an average of 4.01. It simply implies that the MRC students are not particular in terms of attendance and punctuality. It is supported by the study of Robles in 2012 that on the job training, we have the basic knowledge in their area of specialization, but the problem that the industry partners have encountered was the punctuality. Robles stressed that being professional in the workplace is very important. And the next table shows the skills required by the industry partners. For the soft skills, teamwork ranked the first with an average of 4.63. And for the hard skills, designing ranked the first with an average of 4.33. It is supported by the study of Agarwal in 2016, who stressed that teamwork is not only the foundation of all successful management, but the means of improving overall results in the organizational productivity. In addition, Davis in 2007 claimed that employers always stress the need for employing those that can be able to work with a team. The next table shows the relationship between the skills required in school and in the industry. It can be gleaned in the table that all the results are less than 0.30. Hence, the null hypothesis of no significant difference is accepted. There is no significant difference, meaning that the skills required in school and in the industry are just comparable or the same. Hence, all soft and hard skills required by the industry are also required in school to be developed by the learners. For the interventions, the researchers designed an activity to bridge the gap between the academy and the industry. The researchers also conducted a seminar workshop with speakers coming from different industries. Based on the results, it can be concluded that there are skills that need to be developed as per work immersion teachers rated communication the list skills. Students need to understand the spoken and written language by the teachers or by the immediate supervisors. The knowledge of technical fields would also be considered since students were deployed not on their field of expertise but had the chance to understand what a real workplace looks like. Students should also understand the housekeeping and tidiness within the workplace and have to practice the kaigo or clean as you go, and the practical competence which can carry tasks on appropriate level. Most important thing is punctuality, where the time is very important. Industry have also identified some factors that need to carry on in a workplace. The following recommendations designed for the enhancement and improvement of the senior high school students in Lahog Night High School. First, the school should undergo students profiling as to their inclination to assign them to the companies that would fit to their skills. Second, the researchers should create an activity for the students that would enhance not only the soft skills but also the hard skills that is basic and applicable to the actual work activities. And lastly, the researchers should continue the investigation next year to find out if the intervention given have impact to the work immersion of students.
That is our actual research entitled Senior High School Work Immersion Proposed Program Development Plan.
The researchers would like to thank the DepEd Region 7 and DepEd Cebu City Division for initiating this virtual research congress. Thank you and God bless.
Congratulations and thank you, Dr. Salve and Dr. Tero. Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School is the first public high school in the Division of Cebu City to cater special program of the arts. From their humble beginnings, this school proved that they too can excel and be at par with the seniors. The researcher's passion to give a more fitting learning experience towards his students drives him to conduct this research. Proponent, Mr. Jonathan T. Jimenez, Master Teacher 1. Research title, Dominant Learning Style of the Art Students. Basis for the Development of Enhanced Contextualized Curriculum Implementation Plan.
Good day everyone! It is indeed a great honor to be part of this virtual research summit. Let me begin by introducing to you the Special Program of the Arts, or the SPA of the Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School in the Schools Division of Cebu City through this short video presentation. The Special Program in the Arts, or SPA, of the Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School is the first public secondary art school in the Division of Cebu City, established in 2013 in the junior high school beginning with one section composed of 45 students from 5 art specializations, namely visual arts, dance, music, theater arts, and creative writing. Beginning school year 2015-2016, media arts was then offered. SPA is a nationwide program of the Department of Education to hone talented students in the field of arts. The school provides skill training for students with artistic potentials and inclination to different culture-based art disciplines, gearing towards their desired career in response to the ASEAN integration and globalization. These pioneering 45 students have been supported mainly by their parents on their needs like art materials, and others were provided by the school. Out of the resourcefulness of the teachers, the immediate needs for instructions were initiated by the collaboration of the parents and teachers and with the full support of the school administrator. From that humble beginning, the efforts have flourished and accomplishments were enormously overwhelming for just a newbie SPA. At present, the struggle for insufficiency of equipment and facilities continues, yet the burning enthusiasm to support the young artist is undying and still hopeful for any support coming from the Department of Education, local government units, parents, and stakeholders. The school continues to coordinate with stakeholders that provide skill enhancements and immersion activities. Special Program in the Arts, Building Your Dreams. Despite the enormous achievements of the school, there was this disturbing trend occurring in the enrollment at higher grade levels, which mainly propelled the researcher to conduct this research. As per observation of the researcher, it appears that the retention became low year after year, and this study, titled Dominant Learning Style of Arts Learners, Basis for the Development of Enhanced Contextualized Curriculum Implementation Plan, aimed to address this dilemma. The main problem is the decrease of the enrollment of the special program in the arts at higher grade levels. Subsequently, there was an increase in the number of learners recommended to be transferred to the regular class program due to failure to meet grade requirements in the academic subjects. It is the desire of this study to enhance the SPA curriculum implementation by determining the learner's learning channel preference, hypothetically thought to be a great help for learners to improve their academic performance across academic subject areas. Further, to help make teachers in making their teaching strategies interfaced or matched with the learner's modality learning preference, and it is noted that similar study of H. Awang et al. In 2017 emphasized that teachers can go through the learning style of his or her learners to heighten positive attitude and performance in teaching learning process. further design class engagements which will most likely would result to a successful academic performance. The study revolves within the following questions. First, what is the enrollment trend of the junior high school special program in the arts in the past 3 school years? Second, what is the dominant learning style of learners from the different art specializations like visual arts, media arts, creative writing, theater, music, and dance? Third, what are the learning concerns, issues, gaps, and problems of learners in the SPA? And fourth, what enhanced contextualized curriculum implementation plan can be proposed? The study employs mixed method of research, a combination of quantitative and qualitative research designs. Quantitative method was used in sourcing out data to identify the dominant learning style of the art learners coming from the 6 specializations of the special program in the arts, while qualitative method was used to identify the learning concerns, issues, gaps, and problems of learners in a form of interview. The respondents of the study were in complete enumeration of all supposedly 164 SPA learners in the school within the school year 2018 to 2019, but only 151 learners were able to make it to the actual day of the data gathering. In the interview, 30 informants were randomly selected from the 6 specialization areas of the SPA. There were 5 informants from each of the specialization who responded in the interview. The gathering of data was done by respondents filling out the questionnaire. This was done during their art specialization period. The data gathering completed in not less than 30 minutes and not more than 1 hour. The tools used in the study was the Learning Style Questionnaire of O'Brien in 1985. The questions were translated in the Cebuano language to avoid misinterpretation of items or questions in the questionnaire. A researcher-made questionnaire was utilized in the interview to identify the concerns, issues, gaps, and problems of the arts learners. Shown in the screen is an excerpt of the translated tool used for the learning style inventory. Also in the screen is the interview guide used. This was also translated in the Cebuano language. The following are the results of the inquiries based on the data gathered. First, the SPA enrollment population declined. Second, the dominant learning style is visual learning preference. Third, the themes developed on the learners' concerns, issues, gaps, and problems are the learning difficulty, the teacher's pedagogy, and functional visual aid. The past 3 years of the enrollment of the special program in the arts is remarkably becoming low. The factors have caused in the decline of the SPA population was mainly because of the learners' failure to meet grade requirement to be retained in the program. It is in the DepEd's unnumbered memorandum on the SPA implementing guidelines not to retain students to the program who have final grades lower than 80 in the academic subjects and not lower than 85 in the specialization subjects. As shown in the enrollment trend, Table 1, as provided by school registrar, the enrollment in 2016 to 2018 from different grade levels have really dropped. The study revealed that the learners from the visual arts, media arts, theater, music, and dance groups, learning style is in visual learning channel preference, while only creative writing group has kinesthetic learning channel preference. Further, the result of the dominance is further supported on its consistency in dominance even when grouping them according to grade levels. All grade levels reveal that the learning styles of the learners across grade levels has visual learning channel preference. As mentioned earlier, the themes developed of the learners' concerns, issues, gaps, and problems include learning difficulty, teacher's pedagogy, and functional visual aids. To elaborate, learners have learning difficulty in lessons requiring high level of analysis, especially in the mathematics subject. Based on the information sourced out from an interview, specifically questions number 1 and 2, it was found out that most of the learners' learning issues are on their difficulty on analysis, especially in mathematics. Because of this, they found it difficult to solve mathematical problems, connect abstract concepts to practical uses, sentence construction for correct use of grammar in languages, and on some lessons in economics subject. Further, it is also revealed that the learners have difficulty in blending in with the teacher's teaching pedagogy. The learners seem to have a difficulty in following with the teacher's teaching style, specifically in mathematics, where learners' pace in grasping concepts in mathematics lessons for them seems to be very difficult. The following are the saturated verbatim statements of the informants, and I quote, "Lisod i-catch up sa problem solving, kay paspas kaayo mo discuss ang teacher, gamay ra ang time sa lecture o sa test." Lastly, the informants mentioned on the importance of the availability of visual aids in any form. The learners preferred a learning encounter supplemented with visual materials along with a thorough discussion of the subject matter, engaging activities like drills and other relevant activities. In support of this, Punzalan 2018 stressed out that teachers must use visual learning materials in different subject areas to reinforce the learners to be dynamic and participative, which in turn will boost their self-trust and are advantageous in the teaching-learning process. Based on the results, first, it is highly recommended that there should be a close monitoring of academic performance of the learners in the SPA with the collaboration of the class advisor, academic teachers, and specialization teachers, that they look into the quality of learning maximized in their respective classes with due consideration of the learning styles of the learners in the SPA. Second, the teachers should understand the strengths, weaknesses, and individual differences of the learners in the class, considering that they are in a highly diverse group. With this, the differentiated instruction is highly recommended in the presentation of lesson, process, and product of learning to be adapted by the teachers regardless of subject area. Varying teachers' teaching strategies can also help learners' unique ways of grasping lessons in class. Third, teachers should revisit possible teaching strategies and pedagogies that can be applied to the SPA classes, especially in the core subject areas, to ensure efficiency and effectiveness of teaching learning experiences. Fourth, teachers should make wise utilization of available instructional materials, especially pertaining to visual aids that are functional to aid presentation of lessons, discussions, assessment, and other similar use. Since most of the learners in the SPA have visual preference learning style, then the teacher must see to it that board works, drills, graphs, and charts should address this need. Fifth, to pacify the turmoil of the learners in their studies, the school should establish a team of teachers to facilitate reinforcement tutorials or remedial sessions for learners in need. Sixth, there is a need for core or academic subject in the SPA for a special training on how to handle the diversity of learners in the SPA, so as to make their teaching tailored fit to the needs of the learners in terms of pedagogy, understanding learning style, classroom management, and contextualization of content of the lessons. And lastly, there is a need to revisit the curriculum concerning SPA to consider contextualization of the academic subjects like applied math, English, and among others in the context of the learner's field of specialization and culture, most importantly. Thus, a restructured curriculum design for academic subjects, topics specially intended for SPA is highly recommended. As this study has already been disseminated and utilized, the school has started to implement some of the recommendations raised in coordination with the subject teachers, specialization teachers, and the school principal to ensure that the objectives of this study is carried out. A year-round implementation of the action plan, which was crafted in this research, was carried out as well. Should you need to make further readings about this study, you may access these references that I used. As Sidney Gruwitz-Clemens would say, art has the role in education of helping children become like themselves instead of more like everyone else. Thank you to all of you for listening here, and have a good day.
Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Jimenez. Our next presenter is a science enthusiast. Her aim is to examine the bearing of presenting real-world problems in the teaching and learning process of some science concepts. Proponent, Mrs. Joanne P. Lee, Master Teacher 1 of Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. Research title, Spark the Minds, Utilization of Problem-Based Learning in Teaching Science.
Good day everyone. I am John P. Lee, Master Teacher 1 from Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. I am currently teaching Grade 8 Science, Biotechnology and Research 1. I graduated my master's degree in education, major in biology, from the University of the Philippines. My study is entitled Spark the Minds, Utilization of Problem-Based Learning in Teaching Science. The primary purpose of this study was to investigate the impact of problem-based learning method in teaching science to the achievement of grade 8 science students of Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. Specifically, the researchers sought the answers to the following questions. What is the performance level of the grade 8 students in science during the pre-test and post-test? Is there a significant improvement in the students' performance in science from the pre-test to the post-test? What is the perception of students on the problem-based learning? What are the experiences of the teachers and students on the problem-based learning? What enhanced problem-based learning activities can be proposed? According to several students, science is boring and irrelevant. Chemistry and physics are taught with a sense of abstraction and a lot of computation. Thus, many students find them difficult and not so relevant. This contradicts to the needs of the majority of Filipino learners who drop out of school. This is also opposite to the goal of science education, which is to develop science literacy among students, so that they may become productive members of the society. The Department of Education aims to produce students with the 21st century skills. In Article 14, Section 10 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, it is stated that science and technology are essential for national development and progress. Thus, the state shall give precedence to research and development, invention, innovation, and their application, as well as education, training, and services related to science and technology. Because of this, the government continues to create programs that aim to foster a love and interest towards science. It has been found out by the National Research Council that a quality classroom teacher is the most important ingredient in student achievement. Lectures, dictations, drills, and teacher-led discussion are common examples of techniques traditionally used in classrooms. These methods lack the ability to hold the learner's interest. Students with learning difficulties struggle to adapt with the manner on how lessons are delivered. While student achievers find the lesson too easy, this becomes a drawback for learners in either category, when compared to average students without learning difficulties. Akinbobola and Afolabi stated that the different instructional approaches employed in teaching have not improved students' achievement to any noticeable degree. Low student achievement is evident in the low performance of Filipino high school students in several standardized tests, including the National Achievement Test. The Department of Education reported that the NAAP mean percentage score for high school in school year 2012-2013 was 51.41%, with MPS in science at 41.35%. Barakat and Hars Ala attributed the lack of self-desire to study as a reason for students' low academic achievement. Igo, Green Demers, and Pelletier identified the lack of motivation toward academic activities as one of the most prevalent academic problems distressing today's teenage youth. Wright asserted that the students is unmotivated because classroom instruction does not engage. Thus, this is where problem-based learning or PBL comes in. As stated by Bell, PBL is a student-centered pedagogical strategy that motivates learning and the development of 21st century aptitudes and skills. This study was administered to determine the efficiency of PBL method in the performance of the grade 8 special science class students from Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School. This was held for 4 weeks during the 4th quarter and was conducted on the 2 sections of the grade 8 special science class. This study utilized the mixed method design and utilized the pre-test and post-test scores of the subjects. 2 sections of the grade 8 science class students of Don Vicente Rama Memorial National High School were the participants of the study. While using the learning triggers in their small group discussions, they were allowed to use different resources to help them in answering some questions. This is one of the 4 learning triggers used. This is the content of the first learning trigger. Through systematic sampling, a sample of 30 students was taken out of total population of 73 grade 8 special science class students who participated in the PBL sessions. The learners' response to the PBL method of learning in small group discussions was noted. Their pre-test and post-test scores were compared. Here are the data analysis, results, and findings. To determine the performance level of the students, the t-test of single and small sample was used. For the pre-test, the students obtained a mean of 7.63 as compared to the hypothetical mean of 22.50. The p-value, which is less than 0.0001, is less than alpha level of 0.05. This shows that there is a significant difference between the hypothetical mean and the actual mean. The students had below average performance for the pre-test. For the post-test, they acquired a mean of 27.17 as compared to the hypothetical mean of 22.50. The p-value, which is less than 0.0001, is less than the alpha level of 0.05. There is a significant difference between the actual mean and the hypothetical mean. The students had above average performance for the post-test. To determine whether there is a significant improvement in the students' performance from pre-test to post-test, the t-test of correlated samples was used. This table shows the mean gain of 19.53. The computed t-value is 30.13 with a p-value of less than 0.0001. This p-value is less than the alpha level of 0.05. This shows that there is a significant mean gain from the pre-test to the post-test. This improvement may imply that there was an increase of knowledge among learners on the topic and could be attributed to PBL. To determine the student's perception on PBL, weighted mean was used. The mean perception was 3.316, categorized as very high. This very high perception of the group on PBL may imply that the students responded positively towards PBL as a teaching method. 89% of the students claim that PBL developed their thinking skills and increased their self-confidence. 6% struggled to adapt to the new method of learning. 5% said that finding the time to do research was very challenging since other subjects also had requirements that required much time and effort to comply. To enhance PBL, the following are the proposed activities. First, the Think, Pair, Share paradigm. In peer instruction, class lecture is interlaced with questions related to the topic discussed. In nearest neighbor paradigm, a problem is posed and learners work with a small group to solve a problem. In problem-based learning, small group discussion, class is divided into groups. Learning triggers are given in advance for them to research. Next meeting, students will have a small group discussion. Then, checking of answers will be done through whole class discussion. So we can see that PBL improves reasoning skills, promotes the retention of knowledge, develops communication skills, encourages the students to learn in context, and promotes the learner's participation in the learning process. Its potential efficiency as a teaching method for science was demonstrated by a more enhanced performance and the students' manifestation of very high perception towards its use in teaching. Through PBL, students' performance improved since PBL increased students' attention and interest. The researcher recommends that PBL be utilized in teaching science, that seminar workshops be organized to train science teachers in devising PBL materials to be used in the different fields of science, that teachers and the school administration ensure the availability of resources before the implementation of PBL, and that future researchers conduct a study on utilizing PBL in other areas in science.
Thank you and congratulations, Mrs. Lee. The study of our last presenters focuses on a possible intervention towards non-MAPE major teachers who are teaching MAPE. Proponents, Mrs. Maria Luna V. Godinez, Master Teacher 1 of Mambaling Elementary School, and Mrs. Jaquilo V. Elvinia, Teacher 3 of the same school. Research title, Non-MAPE Major Teachers Teaching MAPE, Basis for Enhancement Program.
According to Martin H. Fisher, the tragedy of education is played in two scenes: incompetent pupils facing competent teachers, and incompetent teachers facing competent pupils. Maayong adlaw. We are the researchers from Mambaling Elementary School, South District 3 of DepEd Cebu City Division. Give out to you our research entitled Non-MAPE Major Teachers Teaching MAPE, Basis for Enhancement Program. This study aimed to address the non-MAPE major teachers teaching MAPE, the result of which will be the basis for enhancement program. Specifically, this study sought to answer the following questions. 1. What is the profile of the teacher respondents in terms of number of years of teaching MAPE and relevant trainings in MAPE, conferences or seminars attended? Number 2. How do the respondents assess their teaching skills in MAPE in terms of music, arts, physical education, and health? Number 3. Is there a significant relationship between the teacher's profile and their self-efficacy assessment in teaching MAPE? Number 4. Based from the findings, what intervention can be proposed? And number 5. What is or are the problems encountered by the MAPE teachers? This study is anchored on the self-efficacy theory by Albert Bandura, which is defined as the belief of the person that he has the capacity to do and execute courses that are important to attain a specific performance. The researchers believe that teacher efficacy is measured as a future-oriented individual who motivationally constructs and reflects teacher's competence for his teaching task. Hence, the division of Cebu City upholds the importance of having confidence, self-esteem, and optimism to display better levels of eagerness in their work and workplace, more open to new ideas, and willing to try other means to meet the needs of their learners. Hence, more dedicated to the teaching profession, particularly in the subject MAPE. MAPE is comprised with 4 components. Having them all taken by one teacher is a burden, especially if the non-MAPE major teacher handling the subject is not competent in all the components. These are the action research methods. The participants of the study were the MAPE teachers from grade 1 to grade 6 of the 7 elementary schools under South District 3 Division of Cebu City. A list of teachers was collected from the school administrators from each school. The researchers utilized the descriptive correlational type of research. The questionnaire and the methods used by the teachers are divided into 2 parts. Part 1 focused on the profile of the teacher respondents.
The administration of the questionnaire was conducted after class hours or during the free time of teacher respondents. The researchers also conducted an unstructured interview with elementary Mapet teachers. Table 1 showed the profile of the teachers in terms of number of years teaching Mapet. Most of the teacher respondents, that is 74 out of 130 or 56.7%, who are teaching the subject Mapet, have 0 to 3 years teaching experience, followed by 25 out of 130 or 19.2% with 4 to 7 years experience. Coming in third are the 13 teachers or 10% who have more than 15 years experience. Then the 11 teachers or 8.5% with 8 to 11 years experience. And finally, the 7 teachers or 5.4% who have 12 to 15 years experience. Table 2 presented the level of trainings, conference, and seminars that the non-MAPE major teachers had undergone. It is revealed that 89 out of 130 or 68.5% have not undergone any training at any level. Only 15 out of 130 or 11.5% have had district level trainings, and 24 out of 130 or 18.5% have had division level trainings. It can also be noted that only 2 out of 130 or 1.5% have had regional level training. The survey further revealed that most of the teachers who have 1 to 2 years teaching experience of INMAPE are the ones who have attended more trainings and workshops mandated by the Department of Education focusing on physical education, regional or division and workshop training, that's coaching seminar, physical fitness test seminar, BSP or GSP trainings. Table 3 showed the level of self-efficacy of the MAPE teachers. The results were categorized as very much effective, more effective, fairly effective, and not effective. It is shown that the grade 1 teacher's self-efficacy assessment in teaching MAPE is very much effective for health, much effective for arts and PE, and more effective for music. The overall self-efficacy assessment of the grade 1 teachers is much effective. This revealed that grade 1 MAPE teachers need more relevant trainings and capacity building in teaching music. It is also shown that the grade 2 overall teacher self-efficacy assessment in teaching MAPE is only more effective, and grade 2 teachers need capability training on teaching arts. It is also revealed in the table grade 3 teachers overall assessment is much effective. More focus on giving trainings for teachers in teaching music with a mean of 3.180 is also revealed. The same goes for grade 4 teachers, whose overall assessment is only more effective. More focus and training centered on teaching music is also needed. The grade 5 teachers' overall assessment is much effective, but must give more of the non-MAPE major teachers in teaching MAPE subject. With an alpha level set at 0.05, it is revealed that there is no significant relationship between the respondent's profile and their self-efficacy assessment in teaching music, arts, and PE. However, there are some factors that show a significant relationship with respect to teaching health. Among them is grade level tone, with P is equal to 0.027. However, it is important to note that while the relationship is inverse, it is still significant. That is to say that those teachers with lower knowledge in health have had exerted more effort in mastering the competencies under health. Also, there is a significant relationship between the teacher's civil status and their self-efficacy assessment in teaching health with a p-value of 0.039. This result is seconded by a study conducted by Robards and Evanrow in 2012 that stated that married persons have better understanding on health-related matters than unmarried persons. The number of years in teaching MAPE is also significantly related to their self-efficacy assessment in teaching health with a p-value of 0.035. It can also be inferred that the length of time teaching the competencies under health has contributed so much to the amount of mastery that the teachers gained, which in return spelled out their self-efficacy rating. Table 5 provided a more solid grounds for the teacher's self-efficacy assessment in teaching music, which scored the lowest. This table showed that the main problem of the teachers is their incompetence in reading notes and in teaching music in general. 57 out of 130 teachers, or 44%, consider this as the topmost problem that they encountered in teaching MAPE. This only proves that teachers indeed cannot teach what they don't have. And while it is true that teachers do not leave the class with students empty-handed for the lessons they ought to learn, it should not be forgotten that they too have lost that much needed confidence and competence in teaching music. For non-MAPE majors teaching MAPE subject, it is needed to have been provided all the learning materials and references. However, this is not true to the case of the 25 teachers who viewed lack of materials and references as their number one problem while teaching MAPE. More if there aren't much training provided to capacitate the teachers on how to teach the subject more effectively, which is the main problem of the 22 teachers who responded to this study. How can music be taught if there aren't any musical instruments to play? This is also the clamor of the 11 teachers who found teaching music as a very daunting task. Good if there could be enough support or collegial discussion on how to address the problems among the non-MAPE majors, but there seem to be more who calls for it, just like the 9 teachers who in the first place have no background at all in the subject. This study clearly shows that teachers indeed cannot teach what they don't have. Knowledge of the subject is not the big issue, but the skills on the application and in transferring knowledge to learners greatly affect the performance of the teachers. Respondents need to attend trainings and workshops intended for MAPE. Users' manuals and reading materials should be provided. LAC sessions and echo workshops focusing music, arts, PE, and health should be done. And further research related to the study is recommended.
Thank you so much and congratulations, Mrs. Godinez and Mrs. Elvinia. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentation of our completed researches. Once again, let us give our presenters a virtual round of applause. Congratulations once again, presenters. To formally close our virtual research summit, and at the same time acknowledge the people who are behind the success of this event, let us lend our ears to our dynamic chief of the School Governance and Operations Division. A virtual round of applause to Dr. Joeliza M. Arcilia.
Dr. Rhea Mar A. Angtud, our school's division superintendent, Dr. Danilo G. Gudilusaw, our assistant schools division superintendent, Mrs. Filoisa Katingo, our SEPs in planning and research, and who's in charge of the overall program for this research conference. A blessed day to all of us. It was indeed a great day today, for after months of facing challenges due to the pandemic COVID-19, we finally have our research conference in virtual modality. And our goal is to come up with innovations that would somehow address the present gaps in delivering the basic education in our own division. So to all the researchers, thank you for presenting. We have 6 research presenters for this research conference, and surely we learned a lot, and through the researches that you made, it would guide us or lead our teachers to come up with their own researches as their basis for their school innovations. So look forward for another fruitful year as we face a more challenging year in 2021, and we hope but by the following year we can expect more research presenters as they brave the challenges in coming up with different innovations for the betterment of our basic services, particularly on providing quality, relevant, and liberating education despite the challenges that we are facing. Again, a blessed day, and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arcilia. William Blake said that what is now proved was once only imagined. Teachers, let us see innovations as change and change as progress. This has been your virtual host, Mrs. Nympha V. Pilario. Thank you and have a good day.